Hey everyone, this is D-Vyne and welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you're visiting this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications as well so that when I upload new videos, you're the first to know. Now, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's get into it. I just watched a recent episode of daytime talk show The Real, and Tami Roman was featured as a guest. For those unfamiliar with Tami, she first gained notoriety back in 1993 on the popular reality TV show The Real World Los Angeles, which was the second season of MTV's The Real World. Now, if you don't know what The Real World is, I can't help y'all. Tami has since been featured on several other TV shows like Card Sharks as a dealer, an episode of sitcom One-on-One, VH1 reality show Basketball Wives LA, since she was previously married to former NBA player Kenny Anderson, 2 episodes of CBS sci-fi drama series Extant. She also has a radio show called Tami Roman's Love Talk and Hot Jams alongside rapper Willie D and Reggie Youngblood, who happens to be her current husband. She and Reggie have appeared on Marriage Boot Camp together during its 3rd season, which aired back in 2015. She has a popular podcast called The Bonnet Chronicles, which started out on Instagram and later became a scripted series featured on streaming service Tidal. She also has her own hair and cosmetics line, so needless to say, Tami stays busy. Back on The Real World LA, she expressed how she grew up in poverty with a single mom, and I think that experience growing up just pushed her to focus on getting out and staying out. So she just kept grinding. And I admire her for that drive, but after this episode of The Real, I kind of have to wonder if the good sis has lost a few essential screws during the process. So, back to her on The Real. Now, I'm sure she had other stuff she talked about, but I got frozen at the part where she casually mentioned giving her husband, Reggie, permission to go get another woman pregnant. No, I did not stutter, and I don't need to get my head checked. She said that with a straight face, like she was talking about making Thanksgiving dinner. Let me just play the clip so you can hear it straight from the horse's mouth, and that was just an expression, guys. No shade, so don't come for me.
And a baby for me right now would just not be the thing to do. So what I offered him was an opportunity for us to take a break for a year or 2 and let him go find someone to have a child with.
Stop it.
And then when he has his baby, we could get back together.
Now, there is a lot to unpack here, so I'm gonna just take my time with this for a moment. I get that the man wants a child of his own. I don't know if he has pressured her in the past or she just feels guilty because she is solely career focused and not interested in being pregnant at all. She did mention that he has no siblings, so he is it. Maybe she's worried that he will be resentful that his family line ends with him or something. Doesn't he have uncles or something? Besides that, with all of the options available today for bringing a child into the world, and this is just me going off of an assumption that they don't want to adopt, how the hell did she come up with, okay baby, I'm gonna give you a year or 2 to go find some random woman, get her to agree to this madness, and I'm assuming sleep with her so that she can get pregnant. And then we are gonna just be one happy co-parenting family sitting around a campfire, singing Kumbaya and roasting marshmallows. In what universe does she think allowing something like this is gonna result in a happily ever after? Did she factor in the possibility that he might catch feelings? That the woman might catch feelings? That she might not feel as happy-go-lucky about the situation once reality hits her own ass? Relationships are complicated. Sex can further complicate things. Now, when you are going to tell your husband to take a break for a year or 2 and go establish essentially a relationship with a woman who is willing to have your baby, because let us be real here, that is what is going to happen. It's not going to just be some business contract. Unless that woman has flown off the cuckoo nest herself, she may very well develop some form of intimacy and bond with the man who's going to be the father of her child. Then we all know what can happen with sex, despite having the best of intentions. Couple that with pregnancy hormones and everything else that accompanies that process, it would be better to just get an unknown donor, since Tami says she doesn't want to harvest her own eggs, which she didn't elaborate on, so we don't even know why she doesn't want to do that. Many normal women and celebrities have used surrogacy to have babies. So if adoption is off the table for them and she doesn't mind not being the biological mother of the child, which obviously she does not, why not just get an anonymous donor, work that scientific magic, and then make an arrangement for a reliable surrogate to carry the child for them? This is why I'm wondering about Tami's headspace and if she really realizes what she just went on national TV and let out into the universe. Now, I saw Adrian and Garcelle, and bless their hearts, but I don't know how they kept a straight face while she spoke because I was shook. Garcelle said what I thought, but in a nice, professional way. What I would have said is, I wouldn't be crazy enough to intentionally place my husband, my man, in the path of another woman and say, hey, he's up for grabs. In a previous interview on One-on-One with Keisha Cole, she did open up about their journey trying to have a child. They suffered 3 miscarriages, which is a very traumatic experience for a woman. At the time, she was talking about considering a surrogate and how she had harvested her eggs, and now they were looking for the right person to be the surrogate. I'm guessing that did not quite work out. But now we're gonna jump to let him take a break for a year or 2 and get somebody else pregnant? No, sis, that is not the solution. That is just asking for trouble. Now, she did say that her husband turned down the offer and said that if having kids isn't gonna happen for him, it just won't because he wants to be with her and he loves her. Cue the awes and butterflies. I'm glad he didn't take her up on that ridiculous offer. Now, if he really does want kids, this may end up being a source of contention for them over the years, as it has been for many other couples. When 2 people are married and want 2 different things in life, no matter how much they might pretend that they are okay with letting it go for love, some people can't do that forever. It really is up to him and how much he really wants a biological child in the end. Only time will tell if he will take her up on her offer in the future, and I almost guarantee you that if he goes her route, there will be problems whether she admits it publicly or not. She must think she lives in utopia. But this is planet Earth, where things get messy sometimes real quick. So let's not overcomplicate things and make our lives more difficult. However, Tami is a grown-ass woman, so if she wants to create a mess, she will surely have to lay in it because there's no going back after something like that. Now, I had to close off with this one because it made me bust out laughing. So I read several reports that Mike Tyson's former bodyguard and chauffeur, Rudy Gonzalez, is claiming that he used to stash groupies away in bathrooms and changing rooms for Mike to get laid before fights, so that he could blow off some steam and avoid killing his opponents. Gonzalez alleges that Tyson had a lot of anxiety about potentially doing this to an opponent in a fit of rage, so he resorted to getting laid before fights in order to chill out a bit, so he wouldn't go full out on his opponents in the ring. Now, if this is legit, then it seems to have worked for the most part, but I'm left wondering what happened with Evander Holyfield. Clearly that pre-fight hookup wasn't doing it for old Mike because, mind you, Holyfield survived, but he did bite off a piece of his ear back in 1997 during a rematch, so was it not as effective that time around? Gonzalez also referred to Mike's fears about messing up his career and not being good enough, which may stem from his rough upbringing, which I can understand. The former bodyguard claims that Mike didn't want to end up back in the old neighborhood or locked up, which he has been many times. He was allegedly teased a lot for his stature and lisp growing up. He grew up without a father, and his mother passed away when he was just a teen. He grew up in a very rough neighborhood in Brooklyn back then as well, so all of that together is just a recipe for trauma. I'm not making excuses for the man. I'm no therapist. These are just cold, hard facts. Since retiring from boxing, the man seems to have mellowed out a bit. Mind you, it's not like he's in the ring anymore, and he still looks intimidating as hell, so I would not recommend testing him. But he has opened up a lot about the things he struggled with throughout his life, like drug abuse, his traumatic childhood, and he's done a lot of charity work as well to help children who have come from broken homes like he did. So you can say that there has been some growth, which is what life is all about anyway. But I'm sorry, these headlines cracked me up. Call me awful, but I couldn't help it. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video. Also, turn on your notifications so that whenever I post a new video, you're the first to know. Until next time.